Stugotz here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love a good gummy. Whether I'm on the golf course or winding down after a long day of carrying the show on my back, all I need is one good gummy to help me totally relax. And now, thanks to my good friends at CBDMD, getting Delta 9 THC gummies shipped directly to your door is not only possible, it's easy and affordable. How about that? Every CBDMD Delta 9 gummy is packed with 10 milligrams of THC per gummy, and let me tell you, buddy, they work. CBDMD also has Delta 9 microdose capsules that feature 1 milligram of THC, so it's easy to enjoy them whenever, wherever. And listen, I know it's easy to get confused with all the different Deltas out there, but Delta 9 THC is the same good old-fashioned THC we've all known and loved for years. To learn more about Delta 9 and everything else CBDMD has to offer, just head to cbdmd.com/Dan. Once again, that's cbdmd.com/Dan for information, education, and the best damn gummies you've ever had. Must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta 9.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
We are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code DAN for a special offer when you sign up. That's code DAN only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Stugotz, minor league football is right around the corner, and I associate this guy with minor league football. I associate him, his voice, his personality, Petros Papadakis. He has one of the great names anywhere you'll find in sports, and he was so happy to say the word Stugotz, to look at you, and I don't know what it is that made him so happy about seeing you, so I guess we'll just ask him. Why was the vision of Stugotz
Feelings mutual, by the way.
Something that brought you such bliss?
Well, for us on the West Coast, a lot of these great shows that most people are accustomed to, that a lot of our listeners don't know about, you say you're going to go on the Dan Le Batard Show to people, and they say, "Oh, Stugotz." Like 5 or 6 people said that to me during the week when I told them what my schedule was. So, I started to get excited, and I saw his name up there, and I just, I couldn't help myself. Like when you see a celebrity in the street, you just yell their name.
Thank you, Petros. Yes, one of the great names in sports media, Petros.
Not just sports media, anywhere in the world, I believe.
I guess, but sports media is certainly a top 5 name.
I'm not even sure he has the career he does without that wonderful name. Do you have
It's a great name, and somebody told me it wasn't his real name, and that also shocked me.
I'm talking about your name. I mean, forget about my name for a second. I'm talking about your name being one of the 5 greatest names in sports media, period.
My name in Greece is like as common as like Peterson.
Really?
And you're not supposed to say it like I say it, but I don't want to sound like this overly pretentious and introduce myself as Petros Papadakis, because that
Please do.
Terrible.
No, it doesn't. It sounds wonderful.
Amazing.
Oh, please. Yeah. I think you need, and your career's gone just fine, but if you need a reinvention, I do believe this character opining on college football as a as a sophisticated person who pronounces his name. How do you do it with a flourish?
Oh, what a great 3-yard run by that Fresno State running back, Jordan Mims. What do you think about it, Petro? It just doesn't, I mean, I usually have long hair, but now that the season's here, I chop my hair off. I wear a polo. I say my name, Petros, and I become very sincere and ready to talk to the football coaches of the world in college.
As someone who loves college football and is watching what is seismic change that removes the farce of amateurism, you're making what of just a total upheaval that we've never seen since you've been alive?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, and I hate to say it, I mean, I feel like we've all kind of seen it coming, especially if you've been on the West Coast and you had some semblance of an idea of how bad the Pac-12 was bleeding out because of the TV deal that they made. And that's the most frustrating part, Dan, I think, is they didn't have to make that TV deal. They could have partnered with NBC. They could have partnered with Fox. They could have partnered with ESPN, and they would have had the same revenue or comparable to that of the Big Ten and maybe even the SEC network too. they would not have been bleeding out financially. So seeing the Pac-12 just die and be a zombie conference is hard for me. I mean, I played at USC, but I've covered the Pac-12 for decades, and I like going up to Pullman and Corvallis and seeing Tucson, and a lot of these places are going to be gone and the matchups. But it's been for the last decade, seismic change, like you said, tradition be damned, geography be damned. And if you're not ready to head in that direction, you're just going to be a guy that's screaming in the wind, like the guy that misses the Southwest Conference, you know?
Do you really miss going to Corvallis?
Yeah, I like it there. It's closer to Portland. They don't have the whole "we're with Nike" stigma. They have a really good coach who I played against in high school, Jonathan Smith, who was a quarterback at Glendora High School here in Southern California and played for Oregon State in the TJ Hushmanzada, Chad Johnson days. So, yeah, I mean, I fell in love with the little parts of college football. I've always appreciated that. I don't do the A game on Fox. You know, you see me at nighttime doing the Washington State or Mountain West. And, you know, that's my wheelhouse, and that's what I enjoy. So
I have East Coast bias. I'm sorry.
No, it's fair enough. I mean, I understand. But seeing those little places scramble for a home is tough. It's hard, but it's not shocking, I guess.
Would you say there's a sense of sadness among USC fans or maybe LA college football fans, or are they pretty excited about the Big Ten move?
I think overall they're excited because it's a move that I felt like they had to make. I mean, any of these schools, it's a lot like the Fox football seminar that's coming up on Monday and Tuesday in my life. I'm going to be talking to people, but they're going to be looking over my shoulder for somebody more important to talk to. And that's kind of like what all these conferences are doing. Like they all would have taken that deal. You know, if the Big Ten calls, they all would have left their wife the Pac-12, any of them, and they still will. And that's the hardest part about everybody getting together and trying to talk is they're all willing to leave, and they all know it if they got the right phone call.
You have aged with the sport. Your emotions have aged with the sport. You played college football, the emotion of instantaneous reaction, because I don't think you're precious about these things, but just emotional, instantaneous reaction to, what do you mean my school's going to be over there? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, think of Nebraska versus Colorado. I mean, the Holy War, BYU versus Utah. Those are big deals in these regions. And these are things that have been paused or on hold or just stopped for years. What's USC going to be like in late October and November in places like West Lafayette when they can't just run by people because of the weather? I mean, they're going to have to put on some weight and look at their game plan and change around what they're doing. But to be honest, I don't think we're going to have this more than 6 or 7 years, and then we'll be moving. I mean, ultimately what has to happen, and the funny thing is I'm a college football analyst, and I'm not even that good. I'm good at run game. And we're sitting here talking about macro business change and billion-dollar deals. And I'm like, well, this is going to happen. It's so funny. But I think we are going to get out from under the umbrella of the NCAA because there's just so much money to be made now. We have to find a way to actually have the schools that are making the money pay the players, as opposed to having the grain elevator down the street pay the players, which is what's been happening for years anyway, under the table. And once they get out from under that big umbrella, we can have, I think, a more sustainable and more minor league football-like product, like you said. Why does it have to be wrapped up in our institutions of higher education? I mean, that's something that happened over 100 years ago. Then that train has left the station.
But Petros, since you have covered the sport for so long and it's partly responsible for your career, do you not wonder what is the point of all of this? Why?
Always.
If USC is going to play Purdue every year, what is the point of this?
Well, the point is there's more money in it for USC playing Purdue than going to play Washington State. And USC has watched that happen along with UCLA for the last decade plus, and watched everybody get rich while their brand And obviously they weren't good on the field either. That didn't help. But you know what? I don't think if USC had been the way they were maybe in the late Pete Carroll era even, I think they still would have taken this Big Ten deal. Because you look at Oklahoma, they were making good money in the Big 12 pretty much. And they've been relevant, Heisman winners, and they've been playing good football under Lincoln Riley for years. And they still took the deal to go to the SEC. So, I mean, the point is money. I mean, the point is to make a lot of money. I mean, when I played college football, it was tens of millions of dollars, and it felt like the scholarship was enough. I was from a different background, but to me, it felt like the scholarship was enough for a guy that grew up working in a Greek restaurant. Now, they're making billions of dollars on the TV deal. It's crazy. And the players should be compensated, because to be spit out of a program when your career's over, no matter what's going to happen, pro or whatever, is hard. And they should have something to show for it.
Put us next to you as you hear the news and the level of shock on, okay, Lincoln Riley. USC is back in the game. Lincoln Riley, they are serious about spending, and they're going to go into the mercenary age, getting into the money game.
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, I mean, USC was really defiant for a long time, keeping Clay Helton, and there was a lot of outcry and anger and just a lack of a product on the field. And they had two really distinct problems, in my opinion. One was player development, and one was coaching. And coaching has been solved, theoretically. You brought Lincoln Riley in. Seemed like kind of a parallel move, but here he is.
But you were surprised, yes? You didn't? Did you see it coming?
No, not at all. I think USC, if I had to ask about if we were talking off the air, I'd say they took a late night phone call and got lucky. And somebody wrote the check. The same guy that's running for mayor in LA that they let speak at the press conference, a booster speaking at a press conference, because he's the one that wrote the check. So there's a lot of, it kind of becomes like the movie Chinatown if you look closely into it. But it's a great thing for USC. But are they developing players? Have they developed the fronts that they're going to need to really push people off the ball if they're going to compete nationally? I don't think they're there right now, but I expect them to be much better than they've been. But I don't know if they're relevant nationally after just a coaching change and 1 year in offseason.
As somebody who's embedded in this stuff, what do we not know? What do we need to know about all the minutia and the interesting things, according to you, with all of this change? Because I was not aware, among other things, that UCLA was in such financial straits as an athletic department. They were thinking about ending all of it, $100 million in debt for a couple of years. I did not know that it was that bad. I had no idea.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. I mean, this is a huge win for UCLA to kind of piggyback this. And it saved a bunch of sports at UCLA, which is interesting because the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, is saying, well, I want to talk to UCLA and how does this affect Cal? It's like, well, they're saving 5 or 6 sports just by doing this. I don't know what that will be like. The other interesting thing I thought is that they're looking into like building like a hotel or some kind of hub in Indianapolis because we're talking about a bunch. UCLA's got 25 sports that are all going to travel and be on the Big Ten network. This is all about football, but everybody's affected. So maybe, these teams will be there for a week at a time to do a 2 or 3 school road trip, and they can study and eat in the hotel, and maybe it'll be like the Hyatt Riot House.
Wait a minute. UCLA, which was going to end all sports, is now going to build a hotel in Indianapolis?
Well, they have money now. I mean,
they were going to end some sports, and they're looking into it. Have you ever stayed in the I Hotel in Illinois and Champaign-Urbana? It's excellent, right on campus.
But wait a minute. You're talking about college programs traveling with their own hotels, like just building things in towns they're not in?
You've been waiting for this your entire life.
Give me more information like this. You're saying they're going to have enough money to build and have real estate in a state that they have no connection to.
If they connect it with USC and you have like they used to have the LA Coliseum when UCLA and USC played in it in the 70s, half USC, half UCLA, a hotel, Bruins and Trojans coexisting in the Midwest, eating cheese and bread.
Is there anything that makes you clutch your rosary beads? Any part of tradition that you're sitting here, even though you know it's not logical, it's emotional. You got to get out of the way for the money, where you're like, oh, this is screwing everything up.
Well, I'm Greek Orthodox, so we have the evil eye and the Byzantine cross. But the clutching of the pearls or the rosary beads. I mean, for me, I guess it's the fact that Rutgers is fine. Like all this stuff is happening, and Rutgers is like, we're good. We made a great deal.
There's so many schools that have gotten off easy here, like just that, like are folded into the fabric of these major conferences that will survive. So, like, what's Purdue doing in all of this? What's Mississippi State doing in all of this?
Purdue still turns out some good draft picks, but yeah, Rutgers is the one where I'm like, are you guys going to get relegated in 10 years? Like, what's the next?
They're the ones that represent the New York market in the Big Ten. Like,
is the SEC going to keep Vanderbilt?
Well, that's a smart. We need it for GPA, but that's a smart. That is a smart way to put it, because I do think eventually, if we had this conversation in 11 years. We will have, an EPL kind of college football model where there would be kind of relegation at the bottom, even though we kind of have that anyway. I think that's where we're heading.
Put it in the calendar, please, this date today. Let's have this conversation in 11 years with Petros.
I'm on it.
Time now for Stugotz's top 5 sports media names ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Well, ever. Yep.
Number 5.
Petros, you're in there. You're firmly entrenched. No one can knock you out. Just
what
so
was
you
the
know.
hesitancy there?
Because it changes. Billy, there's new talent, there's new names, there's new everything coming on a daily basis, but this is the list for now. Petros, you're firmly entrenched, okay? You're in
Everything
the top 5.
change.
You're just not in this top 5.
Oh, wow,
okay?
You're knocking him out
In fact,
of this.
the list is named after you.
Spoiler
okay?
alert.
Well, I'm afraid of his last name.
Oh, you don't try and say it. Try.
Hold on a second. Can I see that sheet of paper? I mean, you have a sheet of paper. I don't.
Petros Papadakis.
Oh, what are you doing?
Very phonetic.
Yeah.
Papadakis.
You just ruined it,
Got
though,
it.
Whittingham.
I know.
You just
He was
ruined
in
the
such a
joke.
rush to be right.
I learned it earlier. I'm like kind of mad that he's been Petros instead of Petros.
Is it Dakis or Dakis? I mean,
It's both. I mean,
right.
It doesn't matter.
Right. But you like
Greek is a
Dakis.
different alphabet.
Right.
This is the You're saying this is the Petros Papadakis honorable list. The name. It's named after him.
Yes, it is the Petros Papadakis top 5 sports media name list. Yes, that is.
I don't think you're saying.
Congratulations on naming rights.
I don't think you're okay. Yes, congratulations.
You said you could say it both ways. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, fine with me.
Number 5.
Jimmy the Greek.
That's not his name.
It is to me. I mean,
Number 4.
Angelo Cataldi. It's one of the great names in the history of sports radio. It
Number
really is.
3.
Spiro Ditas.
He's in Greece right now.
Really?
Yeah, he goes. His family is always north of Athens. He has a home there. Recently married.
You know way too much about him.
What a strange. What a strange. No.
Fellow Greeks in sports media. I mean,
A couple of Greeks cutting it up.
He had a fat farm in Santa Monica where he lost a bunch of weight. The Pritikin, now known as the Casa del Mar Hotel.
Listen, if I need someone to write the book on Spiro Ditas, you're my guy.
I can't believe the fountain of information that he's just provided us on the innards of his life. Number 2.
Number
3?
2, Dan. Number 2. Iron Eagle. The bird.
One of the best.
Anything else? I mean, you knew everything about Spiro.
I
think he got screwed out of the TNT Eastern Conference Finals. I like Kevin Harlan, but I think Iron Eagle should have been the guy.
Wow, controversial
Marv Albert.
take. Do you have any other strong takes that you want to share with us? That
everybody sucks.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Does everyone suck? Number 1.
There's a tie here, Dan. I'm sorry. Had to do it. Hannah Storm and Dominique Foxworth. How about that?
How do you guys feel about this list?
It's Petros' list.
But it feels like
Stone should have been one.
Feels like everybody is wildly unimpressed by your list.
Little anticlimactic.
Come up with their own list. I mean, how about you fire up a list there, Petros?
What about that guy Bonino? Remember that guy? That's a good name.
It's
Remember Bonino?
I did, but it's my list. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Make a Stugotz top 5 media names in sports.
It was named after me. I mean, I'm sorry.
Make your own list. I'm sorry this ended with all of us staring at each other and not feeling good about ourselves or each other. Petros, it was good to seeing you, though. You could catch him college football, Fox Sports. He obviously played for USC, and you would tell us that your career highlights running out of that backfield, the thing that you remember the most is blank.
Well, Carson Palmer used to say things to me when he handed me the ball, and I really used to drive me crazy because you think about what he said, and then next thing you know, somebody hits you in the face. And I told him to please stop it. It's things like that often happen.
During games, he would just talk to you while handing you the ball.
Yeah, he was he was a cool cucumber. I played with Troy Polamalu, and when he showed up at camp, when no one knew who he was the last recruit we took. He had a shaved head and a high voice like Michael Jackson. And the first day we put on pads, he just took the ball from a guy and went the other way. It doesn't happen. It's a call. That happens, with 9-year-olds. At USC, it doesn't happen. And ever since then, we were like, oh my God, in heaven, the guy's a Hall of Famer. It was a great list. You're right. Foxworth is a good name.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
But what did
Carson Palmer say to you? Did he say
He'd be like, you better get this, because I was the short yardage guy. And, of course, he wants to stay on the field to throw the ball more. And, he'd be like, you got to go get it, Pete, and stuff like that. And just put more pressure,
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I was one of, like you said, when you asked what the point of this was a little bit earlier, was my whole life in college football. Why am I wearing a plastic outfit running into people? Why are we doing this? So that just made it more of a conundrum. I would have an existential crisis every time they brought me into the game.
But I mean, short yardage, it's such a shitty job.
It's terrible. It's horrible. Especially if the guard gets pushed back and the fat of his ass starts to push through your face mask like Play-Doh.
What?
Yes.
That is incredibly vivid.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman. Oh my God.
You wonder if it's going to come all the way in.
Think about what this man's life was. It's Carson Palmer telling him you better get this, and then he's got a face full of 330-pound swamp ass inside of his face mask. Congratulations on the glory of college football.
And he only wins by getting a foot.
That's right.
I've only had 12 surgeries and I have a cadaver bone in my right leg. Everything's great.
It was worth it, though.
Do you know anything?
Yeah, just a couple of staph infections. Almost lost the leg. Let's go. I'm calling
longest
Nevada
sign-off
versus
ever.
Utah State. Let's get it.
What a strange goodbye. This is the first goodbye I've ever had. Hey, see you later. I've got a cadaver in my leg. Do you know the name? Do you know the name of the person, the cadaver? Do you have any intimate knowledge of who it is that's inside your body?
Great speculation, though, after the fact. Most people thought it was a very slow, old, fat white woman.
See you later.
She took a lot off my 40.
Good talking to you, Petros. Thank you, sir.
Stugotz here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love a good gummy. Whether I'm on the golf course or winding down after a long day of carrying the show on my back, all I need is one good gummy to help me totally relax. And now, thanks to my good friends at CBDMD, getting Delta 9 THC gummies shipped directly to your door is not only possible, it's easy and affordable. How about that? Every CBDMD Delta 9 gummy is packed with 10 milligrams of THC per gummy. And let me tell you, buddy, they work. CBDMD also has Delta 9 microdose capsules that feature 1 milligram of THC, so it's easy to enjoy them whenever, wherever. And listen, I know it's easy to get confused with all the different Deltas out there, but Delta 9 THC is the same good old-fashioned THC we've all known and loved for years. To learn more about Delta 9 and everything else CBDMD has to offer, just head to cbdmd.com/Dan. Once again, that's cbdmd.com/Dan for information, education, and the best damn gummies you've ever had. Must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta 9.
When you shop at Walmart, you get it. Spend a little less on dorm must-haves.
8 a.m. class, 8 ounces of caffeine.
A room that finally feels just like home. And create a space that's a little more you. With bedding from $5 and appliances from $9. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Dan Le Batard.
If you see a photo of fries, do you reach for it, not unlike a pigeon flying into a sliding glass door?
I'm not kidding you. That I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
You've done it to me.
Have you done that thing on like actual photographs where you try to zoom in on it with your fingers and you just make a big streak across it?
A bigger fry? Yes, I've licked my computer screen when it's on there. I love French fries.
Stugotz.
Who doesn't love French fries? I thought
there's always someone out there.
I thought that was the one thing America could agree on. I thought that was the one place where every citizen in our country would indeed be united across the 50 states.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
If your microphones weren't on, I would have looked and been like, oh boy, they're having a very serious conversation. Stugotz has leaned in. Dan has leaned in. What are they talking about in there?
This is what he ensnares my free time with, where he says, I was talking to my treat jar.
Yeah,
and
Stugotz, you were leaning away from the microphone. Can you repeat what you just said to Dan?
I have a treat jar at home. We throw a bunch of treats in there. There's always some candy. I love candy, right? And
What kind of candy
yesterday,
we talking?
there might be some sweet tarts or, little packets of sprees, think like Halloween.
But not chocolates?
Sprees?
Not chocolates?
No, there's some chocolates, like mini Snickers will be in there occasionally. And, the 2-bar Kit Kat, not the full bar, because it's a treat jar. It's a snack jar.
They're smaller.
Okay?
They're smaller.
Yes.
Nothing full-sized.
Yes. Minis, correct.
What is your favorite thing in this jar?
Well, I like the mini Snickers. I like the little bags of peanut M&Ms that my wife throws in there occasionally. I do like sprees. There's all kinds of things in there. So,
What's the best mini candy? Because there's some candies that are better mini than full form.
Really?
Like a Three Musketeers mini is better than a full Three Musketeers.
Too much. The Three Musketeers, the full Three Musketeers
It's just too much
is too
fluff.
much.
Yeah, where a little bite of fluff is fine for me.
But finish your story, Stugotz.
Sometimes we'll put fruit gummies in there, like little bags of them. Just, you need some health once in a while, some nutrition.
Fruit gummies. That's like your vegetables.
Like Welch's grape
They're
snacks.
really gummy bears.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Are fruit gummies the vegetables of the candy jar?
Wouldn't want to get scurvy. So anyway, what I did last night, we had these caramel things in there that I love. I love caramel. And they tasted like Milk Duds. And I was hesitant to try one. I had never seen them before. They're like gold wrap with a little pink on the edge. And I unwrapped one. I had it. I enjoyed it. I grabbed 4 more. One of them slipped through my fingers and went back into the jar. And I started talking to it because this is what I do. And I'm wondering if anyone else does this. I said, hey, you got lucky. But eventually, you'll be eaten. All of you will be eaten. You will all have your day. And then I walked away. And I didn't think about it again. And I ate my 3 caramels. They were delightful. And I'm coming back for more later tonight. And so that's what I do at home because I'm crazy.
I do not speak to the treat jar. With me, the threat is implied. It's understood.
They get it?
It's redundant
I
for me.
want to make sure they get it, though, Dan. You
But
know?
do you anthropomorphize like other things?
I don't
in
know
your
what that
house?
means.
What other things, Jessica?
Okay, like for example, like if I'm changing my sheets, I'll like think in my head, I'm like, oh, I'll see you next month. Like, I'll like kind of
say it out loud. You'll feel better.
For my little like things that I'm putting away, or like clothes that I'm putting away, or shoes. I'll just be like, oh well, I'll wear you next week.
You
That
guys
kind of
made
thing.
Billy hungry. He just grabbed some candy back there and started chewing it at the thought of candy, a little morning candy.
Well, yeah, because what happened was
Mandy.
yesterday I needed cash to go play Mega Millions, which I didn't end up playing, but I needed some cash back. I didn't want to go to an ATM, so I did cash back at CVS, but I wanted to buy something cheap, so I bought candy, and I bought this Airheads hard candy that I didn't know existed before.
Mm-hmm.
What are the best? Let's go through all of this. I don't know the caramel that Stugotz is talking about. Is it Werther's? Is that the caramel?
I got to be honest. I've never seen it in the jar before. That's why I was hesitant to try it. I unwrapped it.
Is it a hard candy or is it soft
looks like
caramel?
a Tootsie Roll, but it's all caramel. That's it. The entire thing is caramel. It was delightful.
this idiot in the corner over there put something else in the change jar, which has just become criticized Billy jar.
That's not true.
Don't eat candy in the AM, signed anonymous, while I watch Tony put it in with his UFC trunks from 2006 that he has on today.
Classic Tony. I mean,
those are short shorts.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah,
It looks
they
like
are.
Ed
Oh my
Hardy
God,
took
I
a
love
shit all
them.
over his pants.
They're Grateful Dead shorts.
yeah, well, he slept over last night.
What is the best of the hard candies?
Candy's not the only thing that slipped through my fingers.
Nor the only thing that was hard.
Well,
Dan,
I'm a big fan of Jolly Ranchers.
those are always in the jar. Staple
Really?
of the jar. Yeah, they're easy, you know?
I don't think there's anything better than the Werther's on the hard candies. The Werther's caramels, I believe, are the best of all the hard candies. Oh, Jessica making
That's
a
such
face.
an old man pick. I'm sorry, Dan.
That's fine.
Sounds old.
Showing your
I
age.
announced back
Werther's.
here that I really love butterscotch, and I took a lot of stick for it.
Yeah.
Do you eat
old
the
man.
strawberry ones too? The little strawberry hard candies.
Yeah, I took a lot of stick
Butterscotch is
for it, yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, butterscotch is a great flavor. And it's one of those things where, because it's associated with old people, I don't have access to it. What do you mean? Like I don't know where to go procure butterscotch.
The dollar store.
It's a cheap candy, right? It's
Yeah,
one of the
absolutely.
cheap ones. Why is this old, though? I thought the Werther's caramel were something that were still popular. Like, I don't...
Now, hard candy is generally associated with old.
I think it's because you have to just suck it. So, like, you can't use your teeth, right? So you don't want to damage your teeth. So, like, it's like an easy thing for older people. You just put it in your mouth and then it'll, dissolve and you'll enjoy it.
Jessica, do you have any other items in your house that you're anthropomorphic with?
My plants, but they're technically living. But I do tend to treat them like they're people that I hang out with sometimes. Well, we do. Some of them have names. We had Robert Plant for a while.
Nice. Nice.
We
Tree
had
Rollins.
Planty Priya. It was a play on Auntie Priya, my friend. I forget. I a lot of them. We had Randy Moss, who was a moss ball for a while.
Excellent name. Nice.
Ryan Leave.
Yeah, most of them have names. Not all of them. I do have I've gotten a lot of plants since I moved to Miami, and these plants are thriving in this climate, let me tell you right
Eric
now.
Flowers.
Stugotz has not been engaged. You keep looking at him,
Yeah,
what he
like
thinking that he's
doesn't
going to
know. I'm
perk
like, come
up,
on,
and he's got
Stugotz,
no
like,
interest in this
athletes
game.
that know plants. Come on.
No, I'm surprised. I'm surprised you guys haven't come up. Like the Mary Jane is where you get your butterscotch. What happened to the Mary Jane bar? That's all I was thinking about. Mary Jane is the classic butterscotch bar, is it not?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did
Mary
someone-
Jane bar.
You don't know what Dan? You don't know a Mary Jane bar?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Classic in the in my snack drawer. It's like a little Mary
Snack
Jane.
what?
My snack bowl. It's a little Mary Jane butterscotch bar. It's fantastic. You guys haven't had it?
On the subject of things that you really like from your childhood, bars and things, we have
It's also
not
the name of
properly-
one of my plants. I
we
mean,
have not properly mourned the death of the Choco Taco,
and my edibles.
which has been
Yeah.
one of
We
your
mourned it on Golic and Smetty this week.
one of your beloved treats, Stugotz. You love a Choco Taco. I only know about Choco Tacos because of Stugotz. I've never had one before. I've never seen one before.
There was a time when the Choco Taco was on the top 5 of my good humor list. It was right behind the toasted almond, which is firmly entrenched at number 1. Chocolate eclair number 3 moves up to number 2 now. But they have retired the Choco Taco. It no longer exists. It was delightful. It was delicious. I'm sad to see it go. But it should be in the Ice Cream Hall of Fame. There's no question about it.
Billy, why are you making faces?
There can't be a Hall of Fame for ice cream, is there?
There should be.
What would be the Hall of Fame ice cream flavors then? If you can only choose first ballot Hall of Fame ice cream flavors.
Well, okay, so is it ice cream flavors or is it ice cream product?
Ice cream truck products, I think, is
Yes.
what this Hall of Fame is. And I
Wait,
think
why
with the
ice
drums-
cream truck product? What about
Because
any?
Choco Taco is
No.
not a flavor. Choco Taco is a item.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
think the Ice Cream Hall of Fame should be all encompassing. I
It can
think,
be
for
whatever you
example,
want it to be. Yes.
Like nitrogen molecules should make the Ice Cream Hall of Fame because it's completely renovated the ice cream game.
Right.
Nitrogen should make it to the
Dippin'
Hall of
dots.
Fame.
Dippin' dots. Yeah.
Thanks, Bill
Nitrogen
Nye.
shouldn't make it to the Hall of Fame.
Of course it should.
Nitrogen ice cream, maybe, not nitrogen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, what is nitrogen ice cream without nitrogen?
I saw a video on how to make it at home.
Ice cream.
Not interested.
Have you guys been to one of those nitrogen ice cream places?
I went yesterday.
The one in the
Overrated.
Grove is so good. Oh my God. No, not Salt and Straw.
That's
has
excellent. yeah.
everything. Tony's mic is now on. Tony,
Thank you. Salt and Straw on the Grove, by the way, incredible.
Yep. Yep.
Salt and straw,
absolutely.
you can smell from a half mile away. You can
I
smell
wish
the
his
milk.
microphone had stayed off.
Oh wow.
Me too, Dan. No, the nitrogen one in the Grove, everything is like scientific periodic table of elements themed.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing when you order. You know what I'm talking about, right? I go there all the time.
There's a
It's
place
delicious.
called Chillin' by me that's like that, it's and everything is up on the board, like peas for whatever.
Peanut butter. It's like capital P, lowercase B,
and they put a
peanut
number
butter.
next to it.
I
love
don't
the
think
periodic
this is a
table.
Hall of Famer, though. The dots and the nitrogen ice cream, you believe are Hall of Famers,
Oh,
you
Dippin'
guys?
Dots are definitely in the Hall of
Dippin'
Fame.
Dots.
I don't think
Definitely
nitrogen
Hall
ice
of
cream has been around long enough to make it to the Hall of Fame.
That's
I mean,
fair.
It just
We'll have to
hasn't.
wait for 5 years
Sorry.
after its retirement.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
But you guys aren't doing coffee flavors, but how about something like the Blizzard, the Dairy Queen Blizzard?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely in the ice
Hall of
Blizzard.
Fame.
All of it? All
Yeah.
of them? All of the flavors
And
of...
you know what? Chocolate's in the Hall of Fame. First ballot.
Yeah.
Unabashed.
No, I-
Chocolate ice cream is in the Hall of Fame.
There's different categories in the Hall of Fame.
There's
One of
sugar
the-
wings. There's sugar
Sherbet's in
wings
there,
in the
yeah.
There's
Baseball Hall of
different,
Fame.
exactly. There's
Sherbet?
the flavor Hall of Fame.
Orange.
There's the
Rainbow
invention
Sherbet from
section.
Baskin Robbins is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
My man.
Thank you.
That is some good shit.
I mean, we finally found something in common. I mean,
Billy, you're making a face
Where
at
did this
everybody.
come from, Rainbow?
oh, the Rainbow Sherbet.
Rainbow
is,
You I
Sherbet.
understand him. I took him for a vanilla man.
really?
Oh, what was that?
Why is
Orange,
that?
pineapple, and
He's a
lime?
sherbet man.
No, Rainbow Sherbet.
Because your top button is buttoned right now.
Oh.
There's one button undone. I was thinking this morning about getting frisky.
Someone's
and
feeling
going for the
saucy.
second. I was going to go for the second
You
button
guys are
undone.
putting
Takes a lot of
every
confidence.
ice cream in the Hall of Fame. You guys are putting
not.
everything
I'm
in the
not.
Hall of
I'm
Fame.
not.
I'm not doing it.
Not at all. No.
Yep.
And flavors, I don't think go in. I think this is the Hall of Fame of ice cream products.
Okay.
Like Neapolitan ice cream, nah, sorry.
No.
We need to have.
How? I mean, the Neapolitan ice cream was such an innovation, though.
Nah, how? You're just
I
putting
mean,
three things together.
I know.
That's what the
but
innovation
rather
is.
than having to buy 3 pints of chocolate, vanilla, and
A Tweety
strawberry,
ice cream with
we can-
gumball eyes is an innovation.
Oh yes,
And a
absolutely.
Hall of
That's my
Famer.
Hall of Famer. That's my
Yeah,
Hall
just
of
now,
Famer. Yeah.
now the SpongeBob one.
Here's an innovation. You know the screwball?
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
2-ball screwball.
What?
Wow.
2-ball
Amazing.
screwball.
Where do you
Yeah.
find this?
Wow.
Every ice cream truck. That was an innovation. Yeah.
And the push-up pop.
Oh, that's a staple. A
Flintstone
staple.
push-ups?
That's orange sherbet, essentially,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Right.
Talking shit
Can
about
we
sherbet
agree-
over there.
Can we agree on what's not allowed in the Ice Cream Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Freeze
What's that
pops.
just? Oh wow.
How about among the things from an ice cream truck, you can only take a few of them. What are you taking if it's just the stuff from an old-fashioned ice cream truck?
So wait, let's set the stage. There's a heist. All right, we have commandeered an ice cream truck, and we have 90 seconds to get out with as much ice cream as we can. What are we taking? I'm gonna start with strawberry shortcake.
I was just going to
Yes.
nominate that. That was the ice cream of my childhood.
I go toasted almond bars. It's my favorite ice cream.
Put
Toasted
it
almonds.
on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Better ice cream, strawberry shortcake or toasted almond bar. The push-up has to go in the Hall of Fame from the ice cream truck. The ice cream sandwich.
100 of them, chip witches.
Chip witches
Also,
in
the
there.
chocolatey Claire bar, kind of
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But
Very good.
if we're in a heist, you're not leaving with the chocolatey Claire bar.
No, but if I can grab one on my way out and shove it into my pants,
Just
I
a
will.
loose one. Yeah.
Wow, the aggressive. The rainbow popsicle is not
Watching a
getting
lot of
in.
Breaking Bad.
None of the popsicles are getting in.
How do you
None
feel
of
about
the
Not the rocket pop.
Oh, I love the bomb pop. The bomb pop is tremendous.
Hall of Famer.
I mean, for me it is, but I'd be willing to cede to the group here.
It doesn't have to, it's not for you, it is. You have to know when your picks are obscure or whether your picks are not popular or not. We're talking about first ballot Hall of Famers.
So a snow cone I don't think is eligible, but should be a contributor to the game.
Frozen lemonade?
Creamsicle.
Ooh, Italian ice.
An Italian,
Italian
ice.
ice.
An Italian ice, definitely.
But
a
that's not
snow
ice
cone
cream.
is not ice cream.
No, but
do
I
we
think
need
it's a
milk?
contributor to the ice cream truck game.
It's on the truck. You can order it. I mean,
Does it have to be milk that is cow milk? Are there any Hall of Famers from the non-dairy category?
Van Leeuwen
What?
has so much good vegan ice cream. What? So good.
Vegan ice cream.
Yes, it's all oat milk
not ice
or
cream.
coconut milk or cashew milk. It's so you would not know the difference.
I like all of those. Yes,
It's so good. It is creamy and delicious. And you know what? It was better than the all dairy mac and cheese ice cream that I had last summer.
oh
So,
God.
Wait, what?
What?
The mac and cheese ice cream.
No, that seems like a bad
That was
idea.
delicious.
Yeah, it looked good.
That sounds
I
like
mean,
a
it was-
terrible idea.
Good and bad at the same time. I
Good
would
and
say.
bad at the same
It
time.
can't be good.
But I don't think it goes in the Hall of Fame. But I did have a delicious ice cream flavor the last time I was in New York. It was affogato flavored. And you think, wouldn't that just be coffee? But no, it actually tasted like an affogato, which is a scoop of vanilla ice cream with an espresso poured on top of it. It was espresso and it was vanilla at the same time. It was unbelievable.
Hall of Famer?
Hall of Fame for me, for sure.
What about firecrackers?
No.
I feel like you guys are being real liberal with this Hall of Fame.
do
You guys
I.
aren't being gatekeepers at all. You're basically
Just
mentioning
asking.
We're
just
just
ice
asking
cream.
He's asking questions.
You're
around
putting-
there.
But your
Brad
ice cream
Lidge is on the
dress.
ballot. Everyone knows he's not going to get in, but we
I
still
know,
have to ask the
but I'm-
question.
Yeah, exactly.
But how about you stand the test of time? I mean, Jess is talking about something that was just released, as far as I'm concerned. I never heard of it
You
before.
can't get into the Hall of
25
Fame
years
if you
and then
can't
get in.
stand the test of time.
I mean, the Chipwich has been around since like the 20. It's like Babe Ruth, right? And we're still talking about it 100 years later.
Has
I
it been
mean,
around
But
that
that's
long?
unanimous.
I have no idea.
We
I'm
all
just, you
agree
know.
on the Chipwich.
The
We all agree on it.
wasn't born 100 years ago.
Well, regardless,
like it.
let's say if it was 40 years ago, Dan, we're still talking about it today. And the ice cream that Jess just said that I could never say, I don't want to repeat it. It's embarrassing, okay? That thing has not stood the test of time. I mean, you got to do something. Do it in the big leagues. I mean,
The Chipwich was introduced in
get on the truck.
1978.
I mean,
Damn, that's like 100 years. Have we discussed the drumstick yet?
no.
No.
The last bite of the drumstick, for me, makes it unanimous Hall
Yes,
of Fame.
absolutely. The
Chocolate.
chocolate at
The
the
tiny
bottom.
little
Yeah,
crunch.
Nicole. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
Triangular.
yeah,
They
you're
made-
right.
I'm with you.
They made a cereal out of it.
No, they did not.
They did. It was like a limited edition cereal. Maybe it was an April Fool's joke. I'm not sure. I never tried it. But it was the drumstick, the end of the drumstick, and it was just the little triangle waffle cone with the chocolate in it. Oh my God.
That's only a portion that's allowed in the Hall of Fame, not the whole thing. You can't put the whole
You just make
drumstick
the
in.
bust out of the last little bite.
The last
of the
bite.
I like
drumstick.
that.
I don't know a lot that's like that because I think the audience in unison that knows what you're talking about is saying, yes, the last bite of the drumstick is better than the rest of the drumstick. And I don't think that you can say that about very many foods. Certainly not very many ice creams. It's way too crowded in here, and
They
I
sell
don't
them
know how the
packaged.
snow cone got in. I don't know how you.
Snow cone is a OLI, I think.
No, it's
We
a
also
contributor
haven't
to the
even-
game.
we
It's like a
haven't
Tim
even-
Kirchin.
We haven't discussed Cold Stone Creamery yet, and the cake, the ice cream cake, birthday cake remix.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No, for me, the birthday cake remix is good. I think, again, if we're doing a Hall of Fame, I think the Cold Stone should be in. There should be one stone.
Great innovations
Great
in ice
innovations.
cream making.
Yes, absolutely. I think
It's like inventing the T formation. It's just the whole thing's got to be in there.
Exactly. There have to be
No.
a representation of innovation in the game of ice cream. I think the Cold Stone has stood the test of time. Stugotz, you've asked for things to stand the test. The Cold Stone came out like what, 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
Does it make it
Yeah.
any better though?
Of course it
doesn't.
does.
I would put the Cold Stone like little movie tape that they put down that you have to stand behind to get in line, because the line at Cold Stone, whether it's one person or 50 people, always take you 45 minutes to get your ice cream.
Yep.
No matter how many people are there.
Enough with the show. Just put some ice cream in a cup and give it to me, please. I mean,
What are we doing with milkshakes?
Oh, wow.
Jackson's
Oh, wow.
ice cream milkshake is
Yes.
elite.
Yes.
like a fribble.
Does that count as ice cream?
Yeah.
They just
I mean, did you
blend
put ice cream in there?
ice cream in a blender, right?
It's not snow cone category, but I'm not. I don't think of a milkshake
Ice cream
as
beverage
ice
category,
cream, even
maybe?
though it probably is ice cream. The birthday cakes, that's my favorite ice cream. It's
So
just
good.
it's
Ice cream
just
cakes.
birthday cake, and from Cold Stone, that birthday cake remix is unbelievable.
By the way, if you get a shake and you get it with like Oreos, the last sip of that shake, to Jess's point, is the absolute best part of the shake. It might be the only thing that's Hall of Fame worthy from a shake is the bottom of the shake, the last sip.
You would put
if you have Oreo in it.
of the milkshakes, if you have to put one of the flavors of the milkshake into the ice cream Hall of Fame, it can't be strawberry, right? You're choosing between vanilla and chocolate, are you not? It's
No,
not.
it's Oreo for me, Clive.
I'd go Oreo.
But that's all Blizzards then. Now you're in Blizzard land, right?
Reese's is pretty good.
Speaking of, does a McFlurry make the ice cream Hall of Fame?
It's
No,
always-
the machine's broken.
Always
Yeah.
It's
broken.
always broken. Yes,
So when we're going to
liars.
the Ice Cream Hall of Fame, we're handing out lactades at the door, right?
Yes, everyone is pooping themselves in this scenario with just and the lactose intolerant among us are just weeping right now at everything except your vegan choices because of course this will all make for a horrible bathroom experience.